What ho, chaps? How the devil? How's the sound? My mic's a bit far away. Hang on. There we go. Everything all right? Hey, I'm feeling shit, but today I went on my rowing machine for a full hour. My toe was merely painful when I did some press-ups afterwards. Sorted. 5 a.m.'s a better time for you. All right. Right, as promised, I think I've squared the audio away on this. So I'll just play for 10 seconds, see if you can let me know if it's working. Those of you that don't remember, this was me and my wife playing the game we invented called Wind Up the Mean Old Cunt that Matt calls his father, by asking him an innocuous yet somewhat politically relevant question and just watching him go fucking mental, unaware that we're secretly filming him. So hopefully the sound works. Just shout me if it doesn't. Yeah, there's he sits there with his slipper and his terrier kicking off about the world. Right, hopefully this works.
Things. Has there anybody from official England gone on and said about the passports and all that? No. Have you read about it? No.
Audio's on, right? You see me being berated for asking a simple question. What's the big deal with eating horse meat? Right?
So they'll sit there and they'll try to get people in England arguing with each other whether or not you should be allowed to eat horse meat or not. It's not the point. The point is you can't eat horse meat in this country. Same as you can't eat swans. They're a protected species of the Queen's bed. You can't fucking eat them.
So there you go. That's honestly, I've got fucking loads of them. The amount of times that we just sat there and got him to go mental was yeah, quite profound. I'd be here all week if I went through them all, but I've got some beauties of him going fucking mental. One of my favourite ones that we secretly got him on was started asking him something to do with Parliament, and he just went into this insane tirade about we shouldn't be ruled by anyone from down there. And I went, oh, do you mean? And he went, Cockneys. And we're like, all right, so Cockneys rule the world. And then he went, we should have a civil war and show them cunts what it's all about. And I went, really? And then he was like, everything south of Birmingham, twat it. And I was like, all right, so we're going to put 20 million people to the sword because a couple of Cockneys pissed him off. And I think it's worth pointing out that probably 99% of their areas south of Birmingham aren't Cockneys. I mean, I don't know what he's got against fucking Reading, but there you go. Right, so that's a funny one. Let's remove that and go to the obvious. No, I couldn't get him on. Katie's a fucking proper Luddite. Not only is he not interested in anything, he's not interested in moving from the couch. I can't get him to go anywhere. He won't visit me in the States. He won't even go to fucking Yorkshire. So yeah, he's going nowhere and talking to nobody, and that's the way he likes it. The fucking living hermit. But hey, you knew I was going to talk about this today, didn't you? I'll tell you what. The thing that rages me so much about this is that they must know that this is going to cause massive amounts of chew. Because as we've talked about earlier, I mean, I've mentioned it many times, that the whole reason you got the root cause analysis, if you were to do a root cause analysis of what caused something like the January 6th riot, the root cause of it is the law not being enforced equally for everybody. Because as I've talked about, it builds up that sort of hatred and intolerance and, I mean, purely irrational hatred caused by hypocrisy. It really is. It tweaks your buttons, doesn't it? It tweaks your nipples in some way that we don't really fully understand. And when people are staggeringly hypocritical, it just makes you want to be violent. It does. Even reasonable people, when they see, again, I've talked about this when I was quite militant atheist type, when I was a young lad in my 20s. When you hear priests railing against the gay community, and then you inevitably hear about the priest caught dug up a rent boy, you know, it makes you angry, because you're like, these people are hypocritical. And it's the unending hypocrisy of our leadership that causes all of the civil disobedience. Because if they're merely taking the piss out of you, like they were, you know, during Thatcher's era, merely ripping the piss out of you and lining their own pockets, you can get away with that. You just go, our politicians have always had their noses in the trough, and you just go to work. But it's only appalling hypocrisy that really drives you wild with anger. And once again, emboldening the communists whilst prosecuting the working classes. I think you could make a good argument that at its heart, this is actually profoundly, aggressively bigoted against the working class. Because the people that do all this stuff are always university educated, middle class arseholes. I guarantee this is the case here. Look at the state of them all. They're all like scrawny fucking soy boys. Excuse me. With weird names. Look at them. Rhiannon Graham. What's the other one called? Sage fucking Willoughby. And Milo Ponsford. It's like, seriously. Are you having a laugh? It's like they knew I was going to be reading this out. So they selected to prosecute the ones with the most ridiculous fucking bourgeois modern parents' names. You remember the modern parents from the Viz? The kid was called like Guinevere. It was like Guinevere and Tarquin. Come along, Guinevere. Milo fucking Ponsford and Sage Willoughby. Are you having a laugh? This is profoundly bigoted against the working classes. This. What they're saying here is, if you're a working class bloke like the Football Lads Alliance and you protest peacefully in a civilised manner, we'll smash your fucking face in. We'll set the dogs on you. We'll boot you in the bollocks. We'll do what they did to Tony Romo and fucking ransack his house and get him on trumped up charges and lock him up again and again and again and again and again and fine him and basically persecute him for having the wrong opinions. Douglas Murray's allowed to have wrong opinions. Again, I'm not having a pop at Douglas Murray because fucking hell, you've got to pick your battles right. I've talked about this loads of times. The true intersectionality umbrella isn't groups that are wildly differing and at polar opposites and who can never be friends, like, I don't know, very, very conservative followers of Alan's snack bar and the LGBTQ plus fucking community. Like, yeah, cheers, they're going to be best mates, aren't they? Oh, yeah, and all the trans blokes, they're going to be best mates with militant feminists, aren't they? Oh, yeah, of course they fucking are. So the real umbrella is not the intersectionality umbrella. It's the working class umbrella. Because there's people who don't have that much in common, not from the same colour or background or ethnicity or anything at all. But the working classes get it. We're in for a fight against a bigoted group of people who practice a two-tier legal system, a two-tier society, really, a two-tier society, whereby if you're a middle-class arsehole who reads The Guardian and you fucking smash a statue up and throw it in the river, it's fucking party time, nobody cares. But if you're a Football Lads Alliance, if you're a working-class white boy from a council estate, you go try and smash a statue up. Go and have a wander over to Karl Marx's fucking grave with a sledgehammer and see what happens if you fucking touch it. Go and have a pop at fucking Winnie. Go and have a pop. I nearly said Winnie, the fucking Winnie's tyre burning football team. Nelson, Go rock up to Nelson Mandela's fucking statue. See how you get on if you fling that in the Thames. I think we all know what's going to happen. So they're just hastening the class war that they're so desperate for. But like I've said many, many times, when they finally get the wishes and they get the glorious revolution, it's not going to be glorious because they're not going to fucking win it. And people like me that have tried to walk people away from the brink, rotten politics as well. The have-nots are at war with the haves. Exactly. Succinctly put. Much more succinctly put than I am. I'm a bit of a rambler, rotten politics. You know this. They do not fucking get it. These middle-class wankers with all the fucking moisture, the heavily moisturised fucking middle-class arseholes who read The Guardian and haven't done a day's work in their life, they honestly think when they get their glorious revolution, they're going to win it. And what they don't understand is they're in a tiny minority because there's more have-nots than haves. You knew. How many times have I said it? I didn't need to see this. This just confirms what I've been saying for years. We knew what they were going to look like. We knew what they were going to be called. We knew it was going to be Milo Ponsford and fucking Sage Willoughby. We knew he was going to have a fucking ponytail and a load of piercings and have no fucking chin and looks like I could beat him to death by just flicking him across the face with my bell end a few times. We knew that's what they were going to look like. Look at the state of them. Look at the state of these people. So, yeah, they're going to get the glorious revolution, but it's not going to fucking go the way that they want it to. Because one enraged steel erector would kick them to bits with his fucking rigger boots. This is class warfare, but it isn't. They think, this is the mad thing, the posh lads who keep talking about class warfare don't realise that the underclasses fucking hate them. This is what educated people have said for years. It's what the bourgeois are, these bourgeois lefty cunts. They actually think they speak for the working classes when the working classes would pull them to bits if they were given half the chance. The class warriors talk about us, because we're all working class people, as if they speak on our behalf, and they don't. They're a tiny minority speaking on the behalf of the haves. And the normal working class lads are not communists. They're not interested in their communist ideology. All they want to do is be left alone. Freedom. Pay as little taxes as possible and be left alone to run their affairs and feed the children and pay the bills. But if they force us, because they just constantly agitate, they force us to pick a team, we're not going to side with bourgeois middle-class communists. We're going to side with a right-wing strongman. It's what happens every single time. The majority of people are not right-wing fascists. The majority of people are middle-of-the-road centrists with no real political affiliation, and all they want is to be left alone. And history repeats itself time and time and time and time again. And every single time, the rabble, they rouse the rabble, and then they get fucked in the flames. It's what happened. People don't fucking talk about. I don't understand why people think that history is not going to repeat itself. It's a type of prophecy. History always repeats itself every single time. Every single time. Before the advent of the Nazis, the fascists fought the communists in the fucking streets of Germany. And who lost? The communists, as usual. It's just going to happen again. And all the people like me and rotten politics and bigger guys than me, Sargon, and we got a problem, and everybody else, all we've ever said is we just want to be left alone, pay our taxes, and raise our children as best we can without interference from Guardian reading, BBC, pullover wearing fucking modern parents with kids called Tarquin. These fucking elites who have to interfere with everything. Tony Blair, why do they have to interfere with everything? They think they can just tinker with everything and interfere with your lives and indoctrinate and brainwash and smear and lie. And most people just want to be left alone. Just want to be left in peace. We're not communists and we're not fascists. We just want to be left alone. But you mark my fucking words. If you cause everyone to pick a side, they're not picking your side. It's so fucking obvious. I mean, let's just think about this. The real crux of why immigration is such a big issue. I want to try and keep this as simplistic as possible because I don't want to make it about race or nationality, because it isn't. But it's about the same thing as Extinction Rebellion and everything else is. It's about the haves fighting the have-nots, right? I'm going to assume, I might be making bold claims here, right? I'm going to assume people like Rotten Politics and myself and Sargon and We've Got a Problem and Paz and all the people I listen to and Simon Sideways and fucking, I could name them all day. I'm going to assume the vast majority of those people aren't Oxbridge educated, or if they're Americans, Harvard and Yale, Ivy League educated. Most people, because funny old thing, they're called the elites. Yeah? That's why the Royal Marines are elite, because there's not many of them. 99% of the military haven't got a green beret, right? That's why they're called the elites, because there's less of them. Funny old fucking thing. If there was more of them, they'd just be called the sprawling masses. The elites all went to university and all got educated in useless fucking disciplines that only give them employment when everything's comfortable. And that is, I mean, think about that seriously. These employments only exist because everything's comfortable. Things like musician, actor, singer, because fucking look how posh all our actors are. They're all like the sons and daughters of barons and baronesses because the rich want all the posh jobs for themselves. These jobs only exist because everything's comfortable and calm. Capitalism, people like Margaret Thatcher built a society that was so fucking good. Working class people got on the housing ladder, got a mortgage, paid the bills, went to work every day and had time off on a weekend. So on the weekends, they could spend the time drinking and watching football and watching movies and being entertained. The only reason any of these useless disciplines rich cunts have got exist is because of the efforts of capitalism and entrepreneurs. And useless twats with PPE who studied PPE or fucking journalism and work for The Guardian and the BBC are of no use to anybody. If everything collapses, blokes with actual transferable skills, physically fit men, people that clean sewage systems and fucking put the power on, they're the ones that are useful. For people that can farm, carpenters, people that can build. They're the ones that have got a use. These fuckers haven't. And everybody knows it. So there's no fucking sense to what they're doing at all. They think if they pull everything down, the working classes are going to go, yeah, the elites have pulled everything down. Now we've got the glorious show. Please, Mr. Guardian journalist. Oh, Cathy Newman. Cathy Newman shows the way. Usher in the glorious new society for us. And it's not going to fucking go that way. They're going to crumble everything. And the working classes are going to get pissed off and side with the right-wing strongman. Because the fucking right-wing strongman is saying, basically, I'm trying to keep this as simplistically as I possibly can. Basically, it's not about hating people because they're from somewhere else. It's about importing a replacement working class. So when 500,000 poor asylum seekers arrive in the UK, zero of the jobs they end up doing are taken by middle-class arseholes, right? People with degrees from Oxford and Cambridge don't lose the jobs to fucking blokes on dinghies. But people like me and Paz and Rotten Politics and Sargon and everybody else, normal lads who grew up in council estates and went to shitty secondary schools and left with a couple of GCSEs and then started working because they're skint and they needed to and they can't afford to go to fucking Oxford and Cambridge. They do get the jobs taken off them. It's like a scornful point by middle-class assholes. They always go, hey, taking their jobs. Well, no, they're not taking your jobs. Because a bloke who can barely speak English isn't going to be taking the job off some Guardian reading BBC Extinction Rebellion lefty cunt with a degree from some shit discipline, and his mates will get him in, and they'll spend his days typing bollocks for a fucking quango working at a fucking think tank. They're not going to take your jobs. But they are going to take the jobs of people like me who leave the military and go, yeah, what do you do? What you end up doing? Driving jobs, working in, being a taxi driver, being a truck driver, being a fucking labourer, getting a trade and working on a building site, window cleaning, bus driving, fucking quickly pick up something like plumbing or whatever, steel erecting, fabricating something. They are the jobs they take. They do take your jobs. If 100,000 18 to 40-year-old random blokes from all around the fucking world rock up, they will take the jobs off working class. If you're a council educator, council estate dwelling, 2 GCSEs bloke, they do take your fucking jobs. I mean, do I need to spell that out? They make it like it's a fiction. Taking their dead. No, they're not taking your job, Kathy Newman. They're not taking Kathy Newman's job. They're not taking Ash Sarkar's job or Owen Jones's job. But they are taking window cleaners, taxi drivers, bus drivers' jobs. Yeah, well, if you got into the fire service, this is one thing I talked about, though. See, you might have done that 30 years ago, but since about 2010, fire service is fucking hard to get in because you don't need a college degree to do it. So nearly everybody I know left the military at some point and applied for the fucking fire service. I did. Everyone does. Which is what I've pointed out. Middlesbrough is 98% poor working class white blokes. And the fire department in Borough looks like the cast of the Cosby Show. If your house starts burning down in Borough and you ring the fire department, fucking Uncle Phil, Will Smith, and fucking Bill Cosby turn up. That's just what happens. We all know why. That's an example. And these lads are probably born in the UK. But the communists are waging war against the working class white guys. So all of the good, high-value jobs that working class lads used to do, they're going to either recent migrants, people that happen to have a tan, or any of the hundreds of thousands of people with low skills, low education that have moved. Everybody applies to the fucking fire service. The top jobs that everybody went to when they left the military, when I left, was fire or police. And guess what? Fire and police now, they don't want you if you're a white working class lad. Tough titty. White working class now, they don't want you to be a copper or a fireman. They want black disabled fire lesbian. They want clubfoot, cerebral palsy, jihadi fucking police, roller policeman. That's the way it is. People might look down on you if you're a cleaner, Teresa. But the only people who look down on you are middle-class arseholes, right? So that's what I'm talking about. The people who write for The Guardian, and as David Starkey said before, the elites don't like working-class people. Ash Sarkar doesn't like working-class people. Owen Jones and Kathy Newman don't like working-class people. They hate them. They like to talk as if they represent them because that's the bullshit ideology. But they don't like working class people. They hate working class people. They have nothing in common with us. They hate us because they know the history. A lot of them study history at Oxford and Cambridge. And they know what happens. The leaders know what happens. They're just trying to avoid the same fate. So the reason they hate the working class people is because they know what happens. Every time the working class people get offered a choice, all the reasonable centrist working class people, whenever they get offered a choice between a communist or a right-wing fucking strongman, they always pick the right-wing strongman every time. They hate them. Thing about it, I mean, Trump is a classic example of that. They fucking hate. They hate you if you're working class. Don Lemon, Anderson Cooper, CNN, BBC, Sky News, fucking MSNBC. They hate working class people because the working class people voted for Trump. It's a white lass. No, it wasn't. It was working class people. Trump got a decent number of black and Hispanic votes. A lot of Cubans in Florida. They voted for fucking Trump. And they just want to lie and go, oh, yeah, it's just all the white guys. It's not. It's not. It's working class people. It's not about colour or religion or race or gender or sexuality. It's about not being a fucking bourgeois middle class arsehole. That's the only thing that matters. Fuck me. It's the way they say it is if no gay man has ever voted for Trump. No woman ever voted for Trump. White middle class women, fucking plenty of them voted for Trump because they thought they were going to get a tax cut. Women put him in the White House. Not enough, is it? It's just blokes. Think about it. Fuck me. They make up 51% of the population, you thick twats. So it's so obvious. It's so obvious. So these twats. Anyway, that was just a massive rant. I'll finish the story. So Sage Willoughby, teen taken in the outside car. Like, apparently that's a bloke, I think. Look at that scrawny fucking soy boy. A plumber had just fold him up and fuck him. There's no Sage Willoughby. Oh, and they also had t-shirts designed by Banksy. Everything about it's middle class, isn't it? T-shirts designed by Banksy, the darling of the middle class arseholes. Don't you know my t-shirt's designed by Banksy? Yeah, fuck off, soy boy. Of course he was. Well, we knew that. You think that's news? Oh, Banksy made me a t-shirt. Of course he fucking did. He's a multi-millionaire. Jesus. A stencil of the toppled statue's plinth. We just want to say thank you to so many people, middle class, upper class twits, because we've never been alone in this journey. Yeah, you haven't. You haven't. Because as usual, when you little fucking tyrants take over, you've got everyone, haven't you? You've got the police, you've got the civil service, you've got the mainstream media, you've got Silicon Valley, you've got the Prime Minister, you've got the Shadow, Home Secretary, you've got the Home Secretary, you've got the fucking royal family, you've got every fucker. You've got everyone. Of course you're not alone. It's because you're a tyrant, lefty cunt. Of course you're not alone. You've got everyone. People like me, who've we got? Well, we've got ourselves, and that's fucking it. Who's on our side in Silicon Valley? Who's on our side in the mainstream media? Who's on our side in the government? Or the shadow government? Labour's not on our side. The Tories aren't on our side. The Lib Dems aren't on our side. BBC, Sky News, Channel 4, Independent, Guardian. Oh, Justin Trudeau, is he on our side? President of Canada. What about the President of the United States? Is he on our side? Of course you're not alone, you cunt. Because you've got all the fucking power. And all the while, they go on TV with a straight face and take a knee and go, yeah, standing against the man. You are the fucking man, dickhead. And that's why when a right-wing arsehole turns up, and he's way to the right of anyone I'd have ever considered voting for, and he's like, I know I'm probably going to go too far, but the only way to get rid of the communists is to twat the cunt and start mass deportations and doing a lot of shit that you'd never have been comfortable with. The working classes are going to go, you know what? He's about 5 steps right of Trump, this cunt. I'm not really comfortable with it, but hey, the alternative's communism. And I need to feed my wife and kids. I suppose I'll reluctantly go for the bloke who's a bit of a nutter. And he's going to go a bit too far. And he's going to deport people who probably don't deserve it. And he's going to probably lock people away for longer than they deserve to be locked away for. It's all a bit shit, really. But you made me choose. I just wanted another Margaret Thatcher. I just wanted good old centrist, socially liberal. Well, she's not a conservative. She's a fucking liberal. I just wanted good old centrist, socially liberal, legally sound, justice being blind, processes for everything to guarantee our freedoms, Lockean principles. We need the law. We need equality under the law, a process that works, a legal system for entering the UK, a legal system for throwing people out, a legal system for prosecuting vandals and thugs that assault us, assault our sons and daughters, assault the police officers, smash up public property that we paid for. Who do you think paid for the statues? Who pays for the Churchill statue? Who pays for all of the statues? Is it the fucking students, the bourgeois fucking lefties, or is it the taxpayers? The bus drivers and the plumbers and the brickies and the window cleaners and the fucking shops and the shelf stackers and the truck drivers. I think you'll find it's them. fucking assholes. We've been so supported and we're such a small part of this. Yeah, well, you are a small part of this because the real lion's share of it is obviously the Prime Minister and Silicon Valley and the business magnates and the fucking leaders of the universities and the College of Policing and the fucking civil service and Sir Philip Rutnam and every other twat who works for the government. Yeah. So you have been supported. Of course you've been supported. You've been supported by everyone except the fucking 90%, except the working class people that make the country what it is and have kept the lights on for the last 40 fucking years. Mr. Willoughby denied they were trying to edit history. I have to take my eyes out and polish them. A communist saying they were not editing history. Really? These are the same people who will tell you that a fucking London in 1903 looked like fucking Botswana. I mean, seriously, actually, I'm gonna look that up for you. I wrote a Quora answer about it, right? And I tell you what, the comments on it blew my mind. You know what's mad about this modern history and modern events? We didn't change history, we rectified it. You didn't, son. You didn't. Because, you know, Trump made jokes about the fucking wall getting 10 foot higher. When you usher in your glorious revolution and you fucking lose it, I dare say whoever is that takes over in Bristol will probably fucking put one up twice the fucking size. So you didn't rectify history. You can't rectify history. History's gone. What does that sentence even mean? We rectified it. You can't rectify history. It's already happened. All you can do is whitewash and lie about history. This is a victory for Bristol. And the end with a famous fucking rallying cry, the clarion call, anyone who wants to be on the right side of history. Well, unfortunately, son, the victors write the history books. And when you usher in your glorious revolution and you get fucking smashed because you sparrow-boned, anemic fucking soy boys couldn't fight your way out of a fucking wet paper bag, they'll say what the winner wants them to say. And it won't say everything was going fucking brilliantly well, but things were suddenly made even better when some sparrow-boned, anemic soy boys smashed the statue up, smashed up public property. It's not what they're going to say. Look, they don't care because they know they control the legal system and the government and the heads of state and the fucking College of Policing and everything that matters, so they can brag about it. Most convicts, most criminals hide the crimes. These lads have got the bit between the teeth. The commies have got the bit between the teeth, so they think they can just brag about it. Yeah, winner. Ray Chadder, who represented Mr. Spews, said the defendants should never have been prosecuted. Yeah, well, Ray Chadder probably went to fucking Eton, didn't he? There it is. Our grandparents probably helped pay for that fucking thing. So, yeah, all in all, Shite Days news by a bunch of scrawny fucking soy boys. And again, you just knew it'd be Sage Willoughby and Milo fucking Ponsford. Quality. Shall we do something else? Because it just winds me up. What about this one? I saved this one. Macron vows to... Again. Who thinks this is a good idea? Who thinks deliberately antagonizing the masses is a good idea? Who? Only people that have got a confidence that really shouldn't, an unearned confidence in their own abilities. Why would you go on national fucking television and admit to it? Yeah, we want to piss everybody off. Of course we fucking do. Really? Is that a good idea? Only a scrawny fucking banker like Macron would be daft enough to come out with it. Oh yeah, I said I was going to show you my Quora fucking thing, didn't I? So here, have a look at this. So the story said, the Black Kings in England and Scotland. Again, it's not funny because someone asked it. It's funny because of the response to the people that read it. Yeah, try and get this so it looks half decent. You can actually read it. Fuck you, Quora. But this is a beauty. So, as if you need to ask the question, were the Black Kings in England and Scotland, was Kenneth Dub, King James I, or the Knights of the Round Table black, or is it just more Afrocentrism? And I said, nothing controversial in here at all. At all. But out of morbid curiosity, let's read it. So I put, no, Great Britain was 99.99% white as late as 1950. That's 1950 after World War II, not 1950 BC. And because people couldn't get their head around it in the comments, I quoted the census from Scotland in 2001 because there was more data from Scotland than there was the whole of the UK. And in 2001, Scotland had 1% of the population that was black and minority ethnic. 1%. In 2001, I said 1950. This is 2001, so this isn't even long. This is post fucking Cosby Show. This is post Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? 1%. That is a fact off the Scottish government website. And the funniest part of it is the comment section. Look what some of the people said to me. This woman said, my mother knew loads of black people in Scotland, fucking loads of them, and she was born in 1943. And she said, oh, they're all brilliant and their English is better than hers, blah, 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 like lefty buzzword that you know is bollocks. And I said, yeah, just because she knew some in the 50s and 60s, you're being liberal with the use of the word plenty because there aren't plenty fucking now. There isn't plenty of BME in the UK now. So there wasn't going to be in 2000. There wasn't going to be in 1965, was there? But they wouldn't have it. And I said, "Are you just fucking maniac? You can't get through with these people." And another one, I'm trying to find the really good one because it's always the ones who know nothing that are the most confident. That's another really weird thing about this. It's always the ones who are the most crazy and the most wrong that are the most overconfident. If someone's on in front of you saying, well, 2 + 2 is actually 5, they're going to be the ones who, they're not going to be like, maybe 2 + 2 = 5. Maybe the capital of France is Berlin. Maybe it is. No, they're always, I'm fucking telling you, this is definitely what it is. And it's always the people who were saying the maddest shit going. There was one on here who was like mocking me saying, oh my God, you don't know anything about your own history. And I was like, I was staggered by it. I was like, I don't know my own history when I've quoted the official census statistics and you're just talking absolute shit. And yeah, there's loads of mad ones. Sophie Mackenzie, there she is. Look at this one, right? Liverpool has the oldest West Indian community in the country. It's approximately 300 years old. Ooh. So therefore, right, apparently, because this is what she thinks is a back of the net, right? She thinks Liverpool had a West Indian community, probably about fucking 8 people. Therefore, I'm right. Therefore, facts. Checkmate, centrist, reasonable person that reads books. All right, yeah. So I said, exceptions don't disprove rules. Yeah, can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. Right. It doesn't need to be any bigger. Exceptions don't disprove rules. And this is where it got good. She said, dude, there have been continuous black communities in this country since the 1500s. There's evidence of black people being here during the Roman occupation. Jesus Christ. Do you actually bother to do research? On a whim, I went on Wikipedia and checked the census records as far as we could get accurate ones. And I think the latest one I found was 1991. And the 1991 census, it was mad. It was like Britain was 95% ethnically homogenous. In 1991, it's like I've lived through this. I'm not even that old, but I know I'm right from experience. And then I have to look up numbers to try and satisfy these people, and they're not interested. So you just can't waste your time with them. But it was like, I was born at very arse end of 79. So I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And in my lifetime, in 1994, you look at, I mean, here's some evidence. Look at people's school photos. Again, Guardian readers and BBC wankers and fucking middle-class arseholes and elites and government twats and everybody else, because they have scorn for the working class and they think you're just always wrong about everything. Don't allow them to try and beat you by quoting fucking clever writers or whipping out some, you know, like the twat on Good Will Hunting, when he just starts and starts plagiarizing the great thinkers. All you need to do to beat them is be right and tell them truths that everybody in earshot knows to be self-evidently true. So they can start quoting Rousseau. Oh yes, but Edward Elgin, suck my fucking balls. I don't care about your clever, sneaky, blow cunning. All I know is, if you were to, I mean, this is a really obvious one. Check your school photo from the 70s or the 80s or the 90s. And what are you going to see in the fucking school photo? You're going to see 95%, probably higher up north. In my fucking school photo, I think there was one Indian kid in first year. By fifth year, we were up to about 3. There was a Nigerian lad called Femi who came to school in like 3rd or 4th year. His dad was a doctor. But literally, you look at your school photo, 99% of the people in it look a fucking certain way. And these lunatics will go on in cyberspace and go, dude, actually, just tell you some bollocks. Like, there's evidence of a community. Yeah, well, do you think I'm thick? A community is a very fluid word. A community can be 4 people out of fucking 4 million. So you don't have to get into it with them. You just have to say something obvious like, go look at your dad's school photo. See you fucking later. You don't have to quote clever people. You don't have to start talking about Shakespeare or Darwin or fucking Isaac Newton. You just have to say, here, go around your fucking nana's house, have a look at a school photo. I'll see you later, you barmy cunt. And anybody in earshot will be like, yeah, fair enough. Another win for the bloke that's not a fucking maniac. You know what I mean? They're fucking lunatics. So they go, dude, you're talking shit. Just like everybody who works for this fucking organisation, the BBC. They think if they spew enough long words, they like to be overly verbose, right? They don't say, we have an employment problem. They say diversity and equity and diversification of the job-seeking industry and blah, blah, fucking blah. Listen, do you think I'm an idiot? I've got eyes, I've got ears, and I can see that every single person in Extinction Rebellion is a middle-class arsehole. I can see that everybody who works for the BBC is a middle-class arsehole. I can see that nearly everybody in the Houses of Parliament and at the top of the civil service and people like Philip Rutnam are upper crust and middle-class arseholes that are openly hostile to working-class people. And we are the ones that put all the bread and cheese on the table. And we are the ones that pay for everything. And we are the ones whose fucking forebears fought and beat the Nazis and ensured freedom for the rest of the fucking planet. So don't call me a fucking Nazi because I'm a reasonable centrist chap and I've got eyeballs and ears. I am a reasonable person who wants us to go back to freedom and fucking safety for the people that live here and not trading it all in for unsafety and no money and no freedom and no hope by bulldozing the borders and letting in every bastard who wants to come here, despite the fact they are utterly unvettable. And we've had grooming gangs in Manchester and London Bridge and Ariana fucking Grande and you bastard name it. I can reel them off for hours that prove the truth of my words. And again, they can talk nonsense. They can wax lyrical about fucking, oh, actually, right side of history. Let me quote some clever, learned scholar. And I'll just say, raping 10,000 little girls, stabbing women in the face on London Bridge, blowing up fucking little kids at pop concerts, millions of fucking fighting age men from the third world moving here in the last 30 years. And you are going to tell me what? It doesn't affect employment? Nah. Every single taxi driver in Middlesbrough's fucking foreign, but they definitely don't take you. Taking their jobs. Yeah, fuck off. They're not taking Kathy Newman's jobs, but they most certainly are taking mine. Right, that was nearly an hour, and I'm pissed off. I'll quickly cover this and I'll fuck off. Macron vows to piss off the unvaccinated. Yeah, because when French people that are in charge of the country start talking about pissing off the general public, never goes badly for them, does it? Never goes badly for them. They go through fucking republics like I go through underwear. The French go through republics like prozzies go through knickers. And this thick twat has gone on telly and went, hey, I'm going to piss off the advert. You dopey fucking scrawny shitbag. Have you got he's got the IQ of a pull-along duck. The French just roll through them and they have republic, bleh, guillotine, terror, mass murder, blood in the streets. Hey, fuck it. Let's do it all again. And this dopey twat goes on telly and says, I want to piss off the general public. Yeah, well, you do it, mate. You fucking do it. See how it works out for you. He's been accused of using divisive, vulgar language. Well, he hasn't been accused. He fucking did it. He did it because he's an idiot. And he wants to make life difficult for the masses. I really want to piss them off. And we'll carry on doing this to the end. Ooh, fucking hell. Maybe he has read some history books. The end usually ends up in French rulers' heads rolling through the fucking streets, you dopey, froggy twat. I cannot. How thick is he? How thick is he? Anyway, right, it's getting late, which is why the sun's in my eyes, so I'm buggering off. Yeah, what a moron. He really wants to piss them off and we'll carry on doing it. Yeah, you crack on, mate. I cannot wait to see where this leads you. And then when it happens and the fucking heads are rolling through the streets, they'll all be like, whoa, fucking hell, I didn't see this coming. And fucking, they'll all be there on Sky News and at the BBC going, fucking hell, we never saw this coming, oh, really? well, anybody who did GCSE history age 12 saw it coming, you dopey, froggy twat. Right, I'm off, lads. I'm sweating like Bill Cosby on the waltzers. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Morale is high. The salmon and trout's nearly fucked off. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Like it and share. Oh, yeah, hang on. I've got one more thing if anyone didn't fuck off. Those of you that are under the age of like, what? Probably under the age of about 40. Do me a favour and go on to this link I'm going to put in the chat. Because obviously I'm trying to get as many people to put my stuff on alternative platforms as possible. So if you can click on that link and make an account, in fact, no, I don't want to mess anyone around. If you've got an account, click on that and follow me, because apparently you have to have 50 people before it'll start like saving your stuff. And they're on Odyssey and everything else, but it does it automatically apparently, and it's a massive pain up the arse. I'm a bit lazy. I don't do it on BitChute because I can't be bothered. Odyssey I do because it's automated. Apparently that'll be automated and it'll save it for me. So it'll be in more than one place. So if you can be fucking asked, go and have a look on Twitch and sign up on there. And yes, Winston, fortunately in 2000, I'll tell you what, if a builder can identify as a fucking female ballet dancer, a 50-year-old can identify as a 25-year-old. Yeah. If a fucking burly scaffolder with forearms like Popeye can identify as an 11-year-old girl, you can identify as whatever age you like, Winston. Right? Oh, Rumble's automated too. I didn't know that. I'll have to figure out. There you go. Apparently, if anyone's YouTubing, Rumble is auto as well. So I'll sign up for that. I'm sure I did it ages ago, but I haven't been near it for years. Right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. See you all very soon tomorrow. Good night. God bless.